permission gets revoked, a field gets locked down. To a user, it's invisible until something breaks in prod and nobody knows why. In this video, I'll show you how to simulate both of those scenarios inside AegionIQ before you touch a single setting in Salesforce. For this instance, we are connected to our test org and a full scan has already been run. You can see the health score and the dependency graph has been completely mapped for this org's metadata. That map is what drives every simulation. Without it, you're guessing at blast radius. We'll run two simulations today. First, restricting field level security on a field in this org. Second, revoking a permission set that's active in this org right now. Let's go. We're gonna go inside the impact simulator by clicking on the simulate button. By default, delete field is selected. In this video, we're gonna select restrict FLS. So once you select that, it asks you to select an object. Let's go to our object opportunity, and in this we're gonna select a custom field called deal confidence. And now I want to see what will happen if I restrict the FLS of deal confidence of opportunity object on standard user profile. So let me go to standard user and then click on simulate to see what will happen. Once we click on the simulate button, AegionIQ will go into the metadata that it already has. It has made a graph where it has mapped all the dependency of what is being used where, and as part of this simulation, if read or edit access is removed for a specific field from a specific profile, then in this scenario what is gonna start failing silently. So in this case, like once this simulation finishes, you would see there are few columns that are reported right on the top. So here you see again, updating the FLS for this particular field is a high risk. Definitely there are going to be 6 components that are being affected. So first, if we go through the analysis summary, it tells us in plain English that it is a high risk change affecting 6 confirmed components, that is belong to Apex formula field validation rule, and it is confirmed to do some restriction in the runtime visibility, not compile errors. That means there are some Apex that refer this field, and if we take away the read access of this field, then there could be some regression test cases that would start breaking in your system, and that would happen at runtime, not at the compile time. And if you can see, it has reported the issues by category. So if you open the automation, then it says there are 5 impact on automation. 3 of them needs update, and there is a very high confidence on it. So if we click on this, it will give us the reason that this is a direct compile time dependent, and if this class reads the field users whose FLS is revoked, it will receive null without any error and silently corrupting the calculations of this class. Same for opportunity service and opportunity trigger handler. It has its own impact reasons. In trigger, investigation is needed because a trigger fires on opportunity and delegates to opportunity trigger handler. The trigger body itself was not scanned, so direct references in the trigger cannot be ruled out. For the validation rule, if you go, it confirms that there is a dependency, like this field is used in this particular rule, but we still need to evaluate by looking at it that what will happen if there is a null value coming in this particular validation rule. Along with automation, an impact in data model has been found. So if we see expected revenue, this is a formula field which refer this field, and if this particular field return blank, then there is a possibility of incorrect behavior to happen. And along with all these impacts, there are some strategic recommendation which basically tells that we need to start to add null safeguard in different classes triggers, and then we have to manually test few components, which is which basically helps you predict that these are the components that are directly getting impacted with this field level change. Now let me clear that and move to revoking a permission set. I will do this by changing the simulation change type to revoke permission set. It immediately go and look for all the permission set present in the org, and then if there is no permissions measure, then it will show like this. So once the permission sets are loaded, you can see them in this drop down. For this example, I'm going to use opportunity edit access permission set. Once I select this, then I can run simulate. Revoke permission set is broader. Instead of targeting a single field, you're asking, if I remove this entire permission set from user, what breaks across the whole org? I'm selecting this permission set that AegionIQ found in this test org, so we can see all the permission sets from this org are listed, including the number of users assigned to each. Now AegionIQ expand this into every downstream dependency. It knows every field this permission set grant access to and traces every component that relies on those fields being readable or editable or holder of this permission set. The blast radius is larger here because revoking a permission set is effectively running multiple restrict FLS simulations simultaneously, one for every field grant inside it. Now once we have this, like as you can see, now clicking into any row in the will break column gives you the component name, its location in the org metadata, and exact dependency chain, which field access is missing and why it caused the break. That's what you hand to your developer when you open the remediation ticket for this. Fix the will break items first, tries the needs review item, note the investigate column for your QA checklist, revoke the permission set. This list was built from the actual metadata of this org, not a generic warning, but the real components in this org. For example, that if I click in the automation, and it tells me that this Apex class needs an update. Why? Because it has been confirmed from its dependency that it references multiple fields, and when a user runs this particular class, it would have like insufficient access error. Similarly to this, if I go and open another class, it will exactly tell me why this class is getting impacted and what's the reason for it. So here's the workflow. Simulate in AegionIQ first, export the will break list, download button to top right of the result panel, create your work item for that checklist, and then fix those components in sandbox, rerun the simulation to confirm will break is empty, then make the permission change and push. That loop is what turns a risky access change into a boring one. To recap, restrict FLS targets a single field on a specific profile and shows you exactly what breaks. Revoke permission set gives you the full blast radius of removing an entire permission set. Both simulation run against your org's actual dependency graph. In this case, everything AegionIQ mapped from this test org was the sample for it to run on. Next, we'll go through the AI Copilot to ask plain English question about your simulation result and get structured remediation guidance. See you there. Bye.